Right, go speak. Nah.
No, I'm only kidding on. I'm only kidding on.
I knew
I was
you were
only kidding on.
kidding.
I'm only kidding on. We're just trying to get Laurie to work her
Right,
earphones.
well,
Is it work now?
no, like it's connected to that, but it's just because the phone.
Listen, as long as you can hear me, it's fine. It's just I need to wear my headphones, otherwise there's an echo, so we'll be all right. But welcome,
Right.
how's things, mate? You good?
I'm good, thank you. Yep, really good.
Thanks for coming on.
No, it's
Obviously,
really good. Like I love talking about the charity, so because I just like to spread the word on it, and I like to make sure that people know that it's there. So it's lovely to have the opportunity to do it.
because I think people know you as like, because I see you every second Insta story as some mad
Something
bird
else.
getting something hoovered on them, something rubbed,
Getting
stabbed
something done, that's
off
it.
you. Do you know what I mean? So I think people know you as that, but they don't
Yeah,
actually maybe know the charity side
yeah. I
that you
think like
do.
the charity is definitely getting more and more known. I'm quite lucky because in like obviously I've got clients who come, so it's great being able to like just talk to people about it every day. Like people who actually need the services as well. So I've already feel like I've got a hub of people that we can
Hmm.
help. But obviously we want to grow it and
Yeah,
make sure that
100%.
people
So
know.
let's talk fab. Do you want to tell people what it is and how you get into it? I've already did a wee bit of a trigger warning at the start of this
Yeah.
podcast, just
So
because it's a
basically
sensitive
I set up in
topic.
2021 I had a miscarriage and then fell pregnant again and had an ectopic pregnancy. I at the time just kind of like felt like I had to go on with it. It was just a bit of a weird kind of.
Hmm.
It was a weird time. Like it's really hard for me to even explain how it was because I just kind of felt as if everybody else was just like nobody really spoke about it to me. Nobody brought it up. No, and I was just kind of like thinking how I was feeling was wrong
Hmm.
because nobody was asking. That way. Like if you hurt your arm, somebody asks you how's your arm
Aye. Ah.
because nobody can actually see the hurt you're hiding behind. Nobody was really asking the question, "Are you
Hmm.
okay?" Because everyone always like, "Oh, you're really strong." But anyway, it was months and months later, I started having like nightmares that I was still pregnant. I was getting up in the middle of the night doing pregnancy tests. I knew I
Fucking
wasn't
hell.
pregnant. I had an ectopic pregnancy, which resulted in surgery. So I knew
Uh-huh.
that I wasn't pregnant. Like, but I was thinking, Googling, can they make a mistake? Like, what the fuck? Like, do
See
you
at
know what I
that
mean?
time
Like,
when you were when you
mental.
but did you feel like this is mental or were you just like did
I
someone
was thought
say
I was going off my head. So
did
I was
you?
in like genuinely like I have never experienced feeling so low in my life.
Hmm.
Like genuinely to the point that I did actually take pills and drink and try to like take my own life. That's how low I got. But that's
Wow.
because I've never experienced that. Like I'm quite one of these people, something happens, it happens, you move on quite quickly from it, right? But then now when I look back on it, I'm thinking, was all those previous traumas did it all just come to a head as well? Because this was one
Yeah.
thing I had no control over. I couldn't control
Hmm.
what happened. Like, couldn't stop it from happening. And it was honestly, it was just horrific. So, the more and more I shared my story about it, I realised that I wasn't the only person that actually had happened to. And even just the duty of care that came from like the aftercare at the hospital or the doctor, anything like that. Everybody kind of just like, palmed off with pills or like,
So what
but
is the process? Like say if you have a miscarriage, do you go to the doctors and say what's the process for
no,
this?
nothing. There's
So
absolutely
nothing?
nothing. Like literally, you just like phone up and say like you think you're having a miscarriage, and they're like, well, kind of, well, if you are, then pretty much that's it. Nobody sees you.
You're
Nobody comes.
joking. That's crazy.
It's
Do
really
you,
so honestly. See, when I was going through the next pregnancy, right, which was actually really quick after the first one. So again, I
yeah.
thought it was crazy because I actually thought, is this the first one, and I've not miscarried, like because it happened so quickly, right? So I was
Wow.
thinking, oh my God. So then I'm phoning up the early pregnancy unit and I'm explaining the situation, and they're like, oh, it could be the same one. We don't know, but we'll get you in. So anyway, they weren't open till the following week, but was bleeding so heavily. And I didn't know what to do. I actually went to accident emergency, right?
Hmm.
Because I didn't know what to do at this time. I was just like all over the place. They had just closed over the weekend. And I went up and do you know what? See the doctor that he took a urine sample and he's like that, can I just ask why you're so upset?
No fucking way.
Right? And I was just like this thinking, oh, and then I was
No
starting to
way.
question why I was upset because then I was thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't be so upset. Like, why am I
What?
crying? I didn't
It's
actually know,
but
right?
that how
And then,
terrifying is that, man?
like,
How
on the actual
but
hospital,
just the
all the
actual
people,
hospital saying that to you, but also the confusion of like,
because I was just sitting there like myself, like, 'cause it was COVID times and all, like, kind of not
okay,
long after. So you were only allowed in the hospital yourself anyway, right? So then I was like sitting thinking, fuck it, like, am I like being a drama queen here? Am I being dramatic? Thinking crazy, crazy things, right?
pure
So anyway,
medical gaslighting in it.
it's like, do you want to be pregnant like that? And I was like, well, I just don't know what's happening with my body. Like, I'm a bit confused, like, what's going on. Anyway, he then did a urine sample and sent me home and said, no, you're not pregnant, right? So I was like this away up the road, heavy bleeding. It was just horrific. And then I kept having all the pains in my tummy again. So Monday came, the early pregnancy unit, phoned them. They're like, listen, just come down, we'll see you. Went away down and they done a test and I was pregnant. And they done a
So
blood test and I was pregnant, right? So that's the one that ended in ectopic pregnancy. So see if I didn't have my wits about me to follow that up, that's something that could actually kill you if that ruptures in your
it
body
can
with internal bleeding. So they
100%, yeah.
actually sent me home, told me basically to stop being so upset that I wasn't pregnant, and away you go. And I was just like,
That's fucking terrifying, isn't it?
terrible. It's so bad. So then
It's so
obviously
bad.
the weeks went on, and that was fine. And then as the weeks went on, obviously we realised it was the hormone levels weren't increasing, and it was um, to be obviously like I had to go and get surgery to get it removed, which was hard because again you're in hospital at the time, like, and
Hmm.
it's not a nice experience to be going through. But like I said, once I started sharing the story, that's when I was like, and then I was starting to feel better later on. That's when I set up the charity. And
Uh-huh.
the charity is there as a support network to support people who, like me, at 3 o'clock in the morning, think she's going off or not, taking pregnancy tests, but like had nobody to really reach out to. Like there was
But
no,
even
like,
from
when I
the
left
start,
hospital, there was when I had the surgery, I remember the nurse waving me at the door like, "We'll come for a facial," and I was like, "Yeah, sure."
yeah, fucking hell,
I
man.
was thinking to myself like what the fuck is
Huge
actually
trauma
happening?
though, man. Huge
It was so
trauma.
weird. Like, you come for a facial, and I'm like, yeah, of course, come in for a facial. Like, and then, but like I say, I think because everybody was so blasé around me at the time, it didn't hit me until I was on my own, and like I was just like, it was just a horrible experience,
It's
and
a
that's
horrible
why
experience, but also the hormones, in it. Like, so you've got
that's
these
it.
big pregnancy hormones surging, and then obviously when you have a miscarriage, all those hormones, do you know what
They're
I mean?
still there.
They're still there, and then the added loss, trauma, grief,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's such a shocking care for women. Like that whole treatment sounds fucking terrible. And see if you took your car or your dog somewhere and you get that treatment, you'd go somewhere else. You'd be like that.
You
I'll
just
go
don't have
somewhere
the
else. This is a
option.
bit shit. But there's nothing
I
out there,
know.
isn't there not?
But it's the worrying part is it's like if somebody like wasn't willing to stand up for themselves and get that double checked, like,
But
you
even
know,
to
they could
think
go
to do
home and
that.
just deal with that and just let that happen, and then that would escalate into a worse problem for them.
Hmm.
So that's why the charity was born. And see now when I look back on it, I'm going to say like I actually think it was one of the best things that could have happened in my life for me to hit that rock bottom,
Hmm.
because like I've came back from it really really strong, and obviously the charity as well. So
How long ago was all that happened to you? Like how?
2021, so not that long
So
ago,
it's not
like
that long. But you're
a
like
couple of years.
you get people like you that when something's happened to them, they'll turn it into something positive and you get something out of that. Do you know what I mean? You get people like that, and I think it's dead good and it's dead brave that now you're actually doing something positive. So, see how from your kind of treatment and all that, what did you do to feel better? Did you kind of put all your
I just
efforts
kind
into
of
work or?
no, so like I actually took a wee bit of a step back for work. I
Hmm.
think like, not a step back, I was still working, but I actually put the energy into me, and I think it's something I've never really done a lot of in my life. Like I started going to like wellness retreats, like cold
Hmm.
water therapy, just walking, working out, just basically looking after myself, and
Self care, man.
basically, yeah. And I know
Hmm.
it's like we should all do it, but we don't. We all get caught up in life. Unfortunately, life takes over, doesn't it? Work takes over. Who
100%, mate, yeah.
But see, like, that's what the retreats are all about. Like, it's not about coming and going, oh, I'm Laura, I had a miscarriage. Like, it's about you finding you again,
Mm-hmm.
and actually, like, putting yourself first for a day, and then hopefully growing, like, after that. And you're in a group setting with other people in the same situation. So
I think
you've
that's helpful,
got
innit?
someone to connect to. You've got 10, 15 people there, and you're free to talk about it as much as you want, because what you'll do is you'll find a pal. Like, that's what
Mm-hmm.
happens.
Yeah.
That's what's happened for the last 3 years. Like, people, they'll find someone and then they'll start talking, and round the lunch people have a wee cry, then they pull themselves together again, and then they go for a nice walk and do all
Mm-hmm.
the nature stuff, and it's
And
about,
you're up at Margaret's place, aren't you?
yes. And so Margaret and Andy, they host every event, like,
She's brilliant, isn't she?
so the food and all that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
She's so
just
good.
teaching people that as well, like, isn't it? Like, and that's what,
Mm-hmm.
like, you do. Like, it's teaching people the right food to go with their hormones, because it affects absolutely everything, doesn't it? Really?
I know,
Like,
man, your health is everything, but the thing about it is what's good about what you're doing is, so, I mean, I've got the membership with all the women, and we've got a couple in there who've had miscarriages, and I couldn't, apart from you, really find what the path would be. You know what I mean? I'm asking you, what do you do when you have a miscarriage? Like, actually, that's the
there is no
basic
backup.
of,
You need to have three before they will even entertain you.
is that what the actual rule is? So you need to have
Yeah.
3 miscarriages before
So
they
I just
what
say, just
test?
before I came on this call, I was over at the Nuffield at a gyno
Okay.
appointment there, right? And because I've had gyno problems my whole entire life, right? And they've just obviously, they've had surgery to check, they say they find nothing, right? Right now I feel as if I'm walking about holding a brick at my pelvis, right? I feel like every time I stand up I'm pulling a brick up, right?
It's not okay. It's not
Like,
normal.
it's not normal, but anyway, she's done a scan and all that there again. She's like that. Everything, like, is absolutely fine, and like blah blah blah. So I'm just like, right, okay, that's fine. Like, I'm back on really good clean eating, making sure I'm looking after myself, trying to regulate my own hormones, whatever. But then that's what she said, like, I would advise you to, like, keep trying, and if it happens again, then, like, go to the early pregnancy and they'll help you. And I'm just like thinking, so
Really?
you need to go through, like,
That's
it's
poor.
honestly, it's been traumatic twice already. So
It's
because
poor as
I've had
fuck,
that
mate.
trauma twice, so there's no path at all until you have three.
But
You
even
need to go
you,
through that.
you're like that. You've had like problems like with your female health, like all your life going, things aren't right. And do you know what? I really wanted to get lots of women on because I don't know if you know this bird. She was called Vivian, the wee PT. Had you ever seen?
Oh, yes, I know, that's exactly like
Fuck
what
off. I
that.
can't get her out my head
I
because have
know.
you seen her Instagram? Like, I don't know her personally, I just know her because she's in the fitness industry.
Yeah,
But I thought to myself, something needs to be done because see that poor girl, man. She documents. She's bleeding for a fucking
exactly.
year, going to
I
the
know.
doctors and they're going like that to her. It's just some things we don't know. You just need to live with it. Now, come on to fuck.
I know.
The
That's
care is
that's
sure.
actually that's what they just said to me there, and that's a private hospital. That's not even NHS. I'm
Hmm.
like, so I was like, I said, is it normal for me to feel like I've got a brick, like, inside me, like
No.
an actual brick? Like, I go like this
And
to
they're
stand
like
up,
that.
and it's, oh my god, like, Shane's poor like that. Like, are you all right? And I'm like, no.
No, man.
And then I think, oh my god, am I just the drama queen? Like, that's what you start to believe, that you're
But it's
imagining this
pure
happening.
medical gaslighting, man, because it's like you go and you're made to feel stupid and like you know something's not right with your own body. Like when I was watching back that girl Viv's Instagram and she's like saying she can't even go on an overnight, she has to take a change of clothes. Like all her symptoms, man, there's no fucking way if a guy went to the doctors with all of that he'd get sent away. Do you know what I
I
mean?
know,
Whereas women were like, "Ah, 10 a pay. Oh, well, do you know what I
I
mean? And the
know,
result of that is that girl's lost her life. Do you know what I mean?
I
I've
know.
just fucking, I think it's shocking. So,
It's
see, when I get
honestly so
somebody,
bad.
we need to just make so much like awareness of this kind of shit, mate,
That
because
was part of the reason why I went and booked another appointment there, because of Viv, because I
was
was just,
it?
I
Because you're
because I
like,
seen that story, and I was thinking to myself, like, I don't get the heavy bleeding, right, but I get all the other things. So you're
mm-hmm,
kind of like, I was like that. Do you know what? Like, I'm just going to contact my insurance and say I want to. I'm lucky I've got insurance, so you know what I mean, to be able to do that.
mm-hmm.
But again, I've just came away, and I'm just, don't know,
You've
like,
came away like that, feeling like a pure
it's
dafty,
even
like you've
worse,
wasted their
right?
time. Do you know what I mean? And it is shocking. And I feel like that girl has passed away, but we need to use her to like warn more women and get things like this, like what you're doing, like
know.
in front of people, because that needs to be our legacy of that. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause she was such a, even just knowing her in the fitness, that she was so like bubbly and out there, pure bird power, wasn't she? And then that, and you're just like,
I know.
fuck off to the,
No. But that's the thing, it's getting the message out there, right? It's like nobody
it's
wants to
getting
listen.
it out there, mate.
I've
Nobody does.
actually had I've had meetings with the NHS about Let's Talk AFAB, and like at first I thought they were really successful meetings. They were I was had Zoom calls with them, like
Mm-hmm.
with different people, met up with other people, and then we were asking could we put a flyer in the ward,
Mm-hmm.
like just basically with our charity details, blah blah blah. We weren't asking for any money, we weren't asking for nothing, just
Uh,
the flyer. But then they came back and they were like, "Oh, we just don't feel that like these are like there yet."
what?
And I was like, "But like, so tell us what we need to do then. Like, what do we
Okay.
need
So
to do?
what
Like,
was the, yeah, what was the feedback then?
just tell me what is required and what we need to do to tick your boxes." And they were just like, "Oh well, you need like to have maybe a bit more training." But then I was like, "Right, so what type of training do we need?"
Mm-hmm.
Nobody actually answers the question. It's honestly, I was ready for at one point just going, do you know what? Like this is too, because it's stressful for me and it makes me
Yes.
upset that people are not listening. That this is a service that's being used and being used very successfully and helping lots of people. Like it's
Yeah.
helped so many people. It's actually helped so many people fall pregnant because we've managed to get them to a point of calm, look after themselves, and things have just happened naturally. Like so, why does nobody want to like
Nah,
help?
I know.
Or
It's
even just,
shocking.
I said to them, I said, I'm prepared to spend more money to make this work. Like,
Yeah.
I've put my own money into this. Like, I want to make sure this is successful. Like, so if you tell me I need to go on a 4 week long training course, I'll go and do it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and tell me what I need to do.
And
Nothing.
was
So
it
anyway,
nothing?
it's just been nothing. You just get passed. Contact this one. Contact that one. Everybody just seems to pass you about. It's on. So I got to a point. I was like, do you know what? Take a step back, take a deep breath. I'm just going to grow it organically, see what we're doing. What we're doing is good, and it'll just catch on.
Just
There's no,
using, so you'll
just
just need to
do what
use
we're
it.
doing. Do what
Social
we're doing.
media.
People will
Mm-hmm.
then recommend. If you help 1,000 people over a couple of years, that 1,000 people are going to tell
That's
another.
exactly that,
That's
mate.
what we do.
And just getting
And
in front of faces,
you
like
know
getting
what? And
doing
that's
this
it.
kind of
We
thing.
do. Like, we have our retreats are filled every month. We've got one-on-one services with a therapist. We've actually just get a therapist join our team. Um, we tried to do group work initially, right? Always group work because I feel like that's so much better for people to know there's more people out there.
Yes. Well, it's a tribe, innit?
Yes, that's it. So you want to do
Mm-hmm.
that, then you can share tips of different things you're all good doing as well.
Mm-hmm.
But then we took on a one-on-one therapist because we realised that some people do need to have that. Like, um,
It's, yeah, you need that option, don't you?
we are
Because
growing and we're growing our services and we're growing what we're doing and what we're offering people. So we are doing it constantly and like it's we just keep doing
but
what we're doing.
you started this like from nothing, didn't you? Like and put everything
Yeah.
into yourself, and it's hardcore, man. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're having to run all the pump the social media side and doing all that.
I just absolutely love it. Like I'm not
It's
joking.
hardcore.
Anybody that contacts us, I speak to them personally.
Yeah.
People like that, how do you have the time to do that? And I was like, but I'll make the time. I said, at the end of the day, like I'm already busy, right? If you
Hmm.
want something done, just give it to someone who's busy because it will just get done and
I
that's
know,
it.
man. You're
I don't.
productive.
That's
Uh,
it. I'm so much more productive. See, over Christmas, I was actually like that. Like, end up turning into lazy sloth because I was the. But
I
then
know.
Susan,
I'm the same, man. But you're like
like,
that. I
I've
should
done so
rest.
much.
Do you know what I mean? There
No,
is a point of like I should
it's
have a
just
day off.
yeah, but like I enjoy it. I love it. I love talking to people, and I love just letting people know that there's somebody there for them because
Hmm.
that's the most important thing. Like I've spoke to people late at night, like when they've needed somebody to chat to, like and people say, "Oh, does it not bring things back up for you?" And I said, "Yeah, but in a good way because
Does
if
it?
that never
Because I was
happens
going to
to me,
ask that. Like, do
it
you?
doesn't affect me at all. Like in
Does
a
it
negative
not?
way, it really doesn't because it only affects in a negative way when I'm not getting to where I want to be. Like
Yes.
that's my drive. Like, but I'm always like that anyway, right? I feel like
But aye, you're like a type A sort of person, but do you feel like it helps you in a way sort of on that process because you're helping other people? So you're a hun
absolutely because like I just feel like who else was that person going to speak to if I never picked up the phone?
no
Nobody. Like,
there's nobody there, mate.
So for me, that's like me help making a change to that person and making sure that they know that there's somebody there and that they'll never feel how I felt. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
So
I don't mind
is there a like a kinda grieving process? Is it like the 5 stages you kinda go through
that.
when you
For
do
me,
lose a baby or like for
I think
people, like if
everybody's
you
different. I think
do you?
it all stems to hormones. I think
Mhm.
some people maybe move on from it quite easily, like, and that's great if you
Yeah.
do. But I think for me, I'm quite sensitive to hormones anyway. Like, if I took the pill for one day, I'd be an absolute crazy.
Mhm.
I just can't take any contraception. I'm just far too sensitive. So that transition of your body changing with pregnancy hormones, and I felt like they were in my body for about a year. Like I genuinely felt like it
Aye,
was a
man.
long time. I felt
Mhm.
like I was going through a pure motion of a pregnancy for such a long period. So I think that everybody goes through it differently depending on what their hormones are like and how they respond to that.
Mhm. So see for your type of service then, do people get in touch with you when they're just struggling finding
So we advertise our services that it's from the stage of trying to conceive.
so fertility awareness stuff? So
But
people
that's called Let's Talk Fab because it stands for fertility and birth, right? So
uh-huh.
we're going to call it fertility and baby loss. But then we talk about when we support people in a fertility journey, we want to let them know that when they have their baby, we're still there.
Mhm.
That's why. So it's like from the stage of fertility to birth, but everything in between, whether it's people going through IVF, they're, they just can't conceive, they miscarry, they have a stillborn. We want to be able to create a space for everyone to be able
Mhm.
to realise that there's support there. Um,
Because I think it's a big thing for a bird when they can't get pregnant or when something like this happens because people feel like they've sort of failed at being a woman really
consumes
because
their life, that's the thing. So it just
mhm.
consumes their life because then all your friends are having babies.
Yeah.
It's you're so consumed by that's what you want, and then that's why our message is self care because everything is an energy, isn't it? Like how, like I
Yes.
know when I've been really low and really poor, like it's really hard to get yourself out of that hole. But when I'm really
100%.
good,
Yeah.
everything good happens, and it really does. But I know it sounds dead like, oh, it's easy to say that, but I always just think I wish you could look forward and see that you're going to feel better in a few
It's
months.
it's got to be all right. Yeah.
Always be okay, but like it's just you can't tell yourself that at the time, and everybody
Mhm.
goes through it, and everybody does. We just want to make that period for people a wee bit easier to
Mhm.
say, we're here, we want to help you, we want to show you that when you're at home on your own and you're having a panic attack, this is what you can do, and it'll make you feel better. Like because
Mhm.
we can't be with everyone every single day, but we can certainly give them tools to teach them how
It's
to
the
do
tools, isn't it? Because there's nothing out there, and you're right. There's just nothing. There's nowhere even to go to like get some information. Obviously, I came onto your page because of the girls my membership because there was nowhere to go. I didn't know you did stuff like fertility and all that as well. So
yes,
do
it
you?
covers everything because it
Mhm.
like cause I feel like that was the first time I was ever pregnant. Not that I'd ever tried. I always just thought I couldn't be pregnant. It was just something in me.
Oh, really?
I knew that, so I feel as if that's why I want to cover that as well because I feel like it's something that's been on my mind my whole entire life. Do you know what I mean?
Has
But
it actually?
I've never spoke about it. I've never said. I've just always said in the back of my head. I don't think I had never been pregnant. Like so, just
That's strange that you would
I just
something.
always think it. So I just think it's really important that we open it up and don't close the door to anybody. It's
Mhm.
and see the amount of people that have had babies, right? Like you might look at the charity page, and I want to spread happiness on our page. And I know sometimes, like if you're finding it hard, it's really hard to see other babies, and I get that. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to engage people in happiness and joy and it does get better
Yes.
and what's happened and we don't want to be throwing babies in people's faces and making them upset but we're trying to change their mindset a wee bit.
It's the mindset, isn't it?
We
That's
don't
the
want
powerful
abuse to
tool.
be all this grieving unhappy
Mhm.
stuff. I'm sorry, I just don't think that helps people move on. I feel like we want you to come and say what you've got to say, get it out there, chat about it, but we want you to ideally just be accept what's
It,
happened,
I
move
see
on from
that
it,
on
and
the
look
page.
after
Uh-huh.
your body and look after your mind, and hopefully things can change for your future, like
I saw the page and it is quite a positive kind
yeah.
of
It's
Instagram
what
and
you
stuff.
need to be, because you can't just negativity, like it's fine to be negative and great, fine to be sad, and we actually encourage you to cry, like, do you know what I mean? Get it out
Hmm.
there. But we want you to grow, like you want to grow from what's happened, and because if you don't let go, then you will never
You
grow.
don't,
It's so
you
true,
don't.
though.
It's so
You
true, mate.
don't, like,
So
so
see
true.
on your wee day retreats, talk me through a full day. So what happens? You obviously
So
you're doing some in 2024, some
yeah,
day
so
retreats.
we've got them all. They're all booked for the rest. We've got one a month. We do them in Arica, which is just near Loch Long. So arrival 10 a.m.
And it is
induction.
gorgeous. It's a fucking
So nice.
beautiful, isn't
Well,
it?
I
I'm
used to go
always,
there when I was going through my own journey, like
did
before the
you?
charity. So that's where I used to go. So that's why I spoke to Andy and we launched them there, because I just feel for me, like, even if you just wanted to sit in the sofa for half an hour and not talk to
Yes.
anybody, you can just go and do what you want.
It's a
You're
it's
not
a fucking beautiful setting, man. Big
setting the
walk,
scene,
big house,
it's class.
stillness, mountains, water. I'm
So
like that
good.
to Margaret. How you got this, Margaret? Gaze it.
I know. So
Like,
I
what in
know.
the world? What in
It's
the world?
lovely, isn't it? It's just
Ah,
it's
it's
just lovely.
beautiful.
I just love it, and I love them as people. And Andy is just the most nicest, calmest person ever to
He
deal
is.
with
Andy's
people.
a breathwork coach, isn't he?
So
He's
Andy's the best
Margaret's son.
Margaret's son. So Andy, I've known way before even that, and I was doing some breathwork stuff with him through COVID and stuff like that. So that's how I started to find out about the
Brilliant.
retreat. And then, but I couldn't think of anything better than to have them do it, because they have just got nice energy, and you just need
Lovely.
that.
You
Like,
need
I mean,
that.
I'm pretty sure if somebody ran over Andy's toe, he would be like, "Oh, mate, it's all right.
That's
It's
it.
not,
It's
you know what I
okay. It's
mean? He's
fine.
just a
Listen,
nice
I
guy.
only
He's
need nine
like
toes.
that.
Aye, he's a nice guy, and I
You
love
need that
Margaret.
energy. You need that
Hmm.
energy. So you'll arrive, get introduction, then Andy will usually take you outside. And like, if you've never done anything like this before, it can feel a bit strange, right?
Of
He's got
course
you in
it
the
can. You
car,
feel sometimes you feel a
doing
bit like a
lots
tit
of
doing stuff like
talking
that,
about
don't you?
making noises and whatever. And do you know what?
Uh
Like, it was a bit, you're like, what the heck am I doing here? The first
huh.
time you see them, when you do it, you just feel so good. And
Hmm.
then they'll do like lunch. Margaret will make everybody a really healthy lunch. Then they'll go do like a nature walk. You'll take them to a wee spot, like kind of do breath works, looking out into Loch Long. Just again, giving you time to just be on your own, or with your husband or your wife or your
Hmm.
partner, whatever. Like, just get an opportunity to reconnect as well. Because I know, like, when people are going through IVF, like, they're pure hate each other, I think, like,
It's
because it's
it's rough.
such a challenging time, like, for people. Do you know what I mean? To go through
Hmm.
that experience. So, like, this is an opportunity for people to just be like, let's
Yeah.
recap, let's leave. And we've had feedback as well from guests that have said, I didn't know he felt like that, because he'd
Really.
up. I didn't know she felt like that. And there was one particular couple, and they basically said that that was so good for them, and they ended up falling pregnant naturally after that,
That's amazing.
because they felt like they had a wee
Hmm.
connection. So yeah, sorry, I keep running off in the tangent here, right? But then they'll go back to the house, and then they'll do the saunas, and they'll go in the saunas, and then they'll go in the cold water, and then again, Andy just teaching them all the techniques of the breath work and how to control the breathing, and basically teaching them, so that when they go home and they've got a day where they're just like up to high
They
blow, they
can do
can
it.
just take that moment. Do you
Bring
know what
it
I mean? And
back to present,
you've
isn't it?
got that for the rest of your life when you've learned it. Like,
Hmm.
so our retreats are open to anyone. So men, women, same-sex couples, single people who are going through fertility
Hmm.
as well. Like, if you're on your own, you can come on your own. You don't have to come as a couple. Some couples don't want to do that together. There's plenty of people there that you can mix from. Everyone is always lovely, like, there's never been any
Hmm.
negative. It's always been a nice experience. You can come as many times as you want as well. So it's
Oh,
not
can
like
you? I was going to ask that. If
it's not like one shot and then
I
that's
thought
you.
I didn't know if it was like a one-time thing or you could
No, you can
like.
attend as many as you want. So if you need to go every single month, you just go every single month.
Uh-huh.
And like, the plan is, like, we want to hopefully try and get our own, like, premises, like say private location, so that we can just actually run regular workshops, because we do have workshops that run, like when we have a 4-week workshop doing something, but sometimes we're a bit all over the place at different locations.
So you're wanting a kind of base.
Hopefully this year we're going to have our own base, and that's where we're going to run lots of different workshops. So if anybody obviously is interested, just keep an eye on the website.
I
Or
think that's a good thing to do because you can do loads of stuff. Like even just like I send loads of my clients to things like the postnatal, the prenatal yoga, stuff like that. So it'd be good for this type of.
that's if we've got our own hub, our own spot,
You
and
can
then
do stuff.
use it, but then we can also then rent that space out to other people who can do
100%.
it. You know what I mean? Like, but I do think it would. I think people like to know where they're going, and especially if you're already anxious or nervous or whatever. If you're going to the same place all the time, it makes life a little bit easier. So that's what we're in the middle of looking for just now, so that we can enhance on the
Do you
retreat.
have one? You got one in mind? Are you?
We've just been looking at different premises and stuff like that, just like kind of around Glasgow. So I had a wee meeting
Yeah.
with the council as well last week. So hopefully we can get
Surely,
some help.
surely the council have something for you.
Even just, I've been trying to pin someone down from there. It's
Fucking
not
it.
even the council. It's like a charity that works with part of the council. But see,
Mm-hmm.
that's the first person I've actually got to see face to face. Like, so she's like, "Don't worry, I'm not going to abandon you. Like, I'll like help if there's anything they can do, like to support us or whatever." So hopefully going forward, because the thing
I,
is, it's, we open a premises, right?
mm-hmm.
The only money we have is the money that I fundraise for, right? So it's only fundraising. We don't get any grants. We don't get any support. But you're like, and we've got good money in the bank. We've raised a lot of money in the last couple of years, and a lot of we've paid for all our services pretty much for the year, so we can do it. But it's like, what if you get overwhelmed as well? The
Mm-hmm.
people then all running in, and then the money runs out, and then you're
The
shutting
money
six.
runs out.
That's it. So we need to just do this carefully with
Yes.
a planning to make sure that we are supported with the council and that we've got the right premises.
How do you fundraise for the charity?
So the last couple of years I've just done, like last year I've done the Three Peaks, the year before that done the West End Way, and then have a ball, charity ball.
Do you do the
So
charity ball stuff? Does that work quite well for you? Yeah.
we normally like, I mean, I think the first year we raised like 30 odd grand at the ball,
That's
and
fucking
we
good.
were almost, we were like 30 odd grand last year
That's
as well.
amazing.
We raised about 50 grand each year, like for
Uh-huh.
the first and the second year. So
So that just shows you, but like how people are behind this sort of charity,
yeah, and
the
that's our
support, and
goal.
then that's when the NHS are like, nah, how?
That's the thing. It's just one of them things. I think there's just too many people that they couldn't support it because it would just eat so much money. So they're better just brush it under the carpet like it didn't happen.
Yeah, it is skint the
I think
NHS. Do you know what I mean?
that's it. I just think there's too many people going through these traumas that they can't. But I just think if we support people from the outset, you might then prevent mental health issues later in life.
Well, you
Like
will.
I was given a tablet, right? So it's like take the tablet, but then I'm then going to be dependent on the tablet.
It's
So
very
then,
hard to come off.
I need to get off the tablet.
It's
So then
hard to come
that's
off the
going to affect
tablet.
my body as well. So
Hmm.
I think I was on that for 2 weeks and I was like, oh my God, I need to get rid of that. I'm not
Did you
taking
not
it.
feel good on the tablet? Flatline?
I just knew that it wasn't my solution. I just
Yeah.
knew it wasn't my solution, and I was like, I'm just can't take them. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying but sometimes people need it to take the edge off to then
But yeah,
start working on the solution. But it's
I
not the solution. It's never the solution. And
know, but
when you're
that's it.
starting, yeah, but you're starting something with it. People have to do that, put the work in, do the self care. It's quite hard. I mean, I'm in this industry, mate. It's the west of Scotland. So when you tell people they maybe need to do something for themselves, they're like, "See you later." You're
I
like,
know.
"No,
Like, sorry, I need
no."
to take my ma for the messages.
Do you know what I mean? I just want the pill. Get
I
a pill.
know.
So, like for you doing that, listen, we're going to get proactive, get everybody talking, learn the
And the thing
breath
is,
work.
like, see if people even reach out, isn't it? Like, oh, like, like I'm pure on the phone text them, like, right, how are you getting on? You got to
Mm-hmm.
come? Like, I'm like
Aye.
pure, hurry up,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, it's so many people that I've been like, are you coming to one of these retreats yet? And they're like, and they end up giving in to me and they do it, and
Go,
then they
ah,
message me
fuck's
and they're
sake,
like,
shut it
oh,
up.
they're like, that was the best thing ever. I don't know why I never done it
Of
sooner.
course it's going to be anything you invest in yourself, your health, this, fertility, getting over something, it's the fucking best thing you'll do. But imagine even we have to convince people to do it. It's crazy,
No.
isn't it? I'm like, ah, God,
Do you
man.
want to go in the pub and go for a drink? I'll
Oh,
be doing
I,
it for
oh,
you.
fucking no questions asked, man. I'm always like that.
Oh
Should we move
God.
to Dubai where there's maybe a better market for fucking health? Because it's
I
hardcore,
know.
man, here, isn't it?
It is hard. It's very hard, but I just don't think we've been really brought up to be that pushed into us. I think
No.
hopefully with the generation coming through now, we can maybe drum it into them a bit
I
more.
think they're a
Like,
wee bit more on the ball with like mental health and understand things a bit more. Whereas, like, see, like my mum's generation and all that, they're like, you just need to get up and get on with it.
I
Just
know,
get up and get on with it. Everything.
and that's the thing. And like, that's the kind of like I have kind of have that attitude as well. But that was
Hmm.
just for the first time ever in my life that I thought, fuck, I actually can't get up.
That must have
Like,
been scary just for being out of
it
control like
was.
that. Do
I
you know
was
what I
just
mean?
like that, thinking, oh my god, and see if it wasn't for me having the business, I don't actually know where I would have been at
Hmm.
because I had to get up to go to work. Like I would never have cancelled on my clients.
You
Like I would
can't
never
when you're
have. I
self-employed. It's
just
pish.
wouldn't. It's not even about the money. It was just I would just never do that to
Uh-huh.
my clients. Like so, in a way, I'm lucky I had that
Hmm.
because otherwise it could have been a lot worse.
And
You
what
know.
about like your partner, like going
So the
through
partner
this?
at the time, no, that we broke up as well. So
Did
like,
you?
so yeah, I'm with someone else now. We are married. Like, but at that time, like, not like we actually broke up between the two pregnancies. It was so
Really?
bizarre. It was
Just
weird.
through
Like,
not being right for each other or like
so
all
maybe
that
that was maybe,
stress?
maybe that's what I always think. Like this, maybe that was all a sign that we weren't
Maybe.
like, and
Yeah.
that's. But like, nah. So like, and he wasn't really great either. But it's just that's something I probably wouldn't even give him the time of day we're talking about it. Do you know that way?
But at
I said,
least
when
you
I had that breakup as well, do you know what I mean? No wonder I was about to
I
jump
know,
off.
I know, but seriously, no wonder because there's lots of fucking shit going on there. But I
I
think it's
know.
quite good because when I was reading your website and all that, you were saying how that the guys can go along with to
Yeah.
the
It's
retreat, and
so
I
good.
think that's actually dead important because I train a lot of guys as well, but they're not as kind of forthcoming with like emotion and chat as my bird clients. Do you know what I mean? So I
That's
think
the
it's
thing,
really good.
guys think they need to be strong for their women. Or,
Yes.
like, they think, oh, we are the guy and like we are fine, but it does affect them. And as we've learned, like the guys that go along there are just like, this is just great. Like,
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much for inviting me. Like, nobody's actually asked me how I am. Like,
Uh-huh. And even seeing their missus in a bit of a happier place, I know for me that would probably be all I was focusing on. Do you know what I mean? So it'd be good just like you've got that, we're both having self care and that's important, isn't it?
yeah, 100%. I think
It's
like
a,
it's the connection. That's what we're saying. We want people to reconnect with each other. That's
I've got, so I've got a question. I asked my membership if they wanted to ask you, and so one of the girls said, I have a question for Laura. So I'm starting to feel happy again. So she's not long had a miscarriage, right? Which is bringing guilt for some reason. But anyway, I feel like it's going to hit me in a year or two for some reason when anything traumatic or big life changing happens to me. I'm absolutely fine. Then suddenly it'll hit me a couple of years later. Is that a thing that you've seen? You've kind of.
that can happen if you don't deal with what's happened. Like, so see what I was saying about accepting what happened. You're fine to be happy. You should be happy. Like,
Hmm.
you need to continue to live your life. You can't just be this guilt. It's not your fault it's happened. Like, these are just these things that happen in life. But if you are questioning how you're feeling right now, then that's possibly a sign that I would suggest that she contacts us and we can put her in touch with a service for her to discuss that. Because if she doesn't discuss it now, something might happen in a year that triggers it, and then all the trauma from what's happened now comes back because she's not dealt with it. So,
I think this too, and I don't know if you've ever heard any of my chat or anything, but because I deal with like women in the perimenopause, this
yeah,
thing happens, right? So, see, when you get to perimenopause, anything that you've not dealt with opens up in the perimenopause. Don't know why. I think it's because in perimenopause there's a brain rewiring or something like that. But it's like this major crossroads in your life and see things that you've not dealt with. Maybe something like this, like having a miscarriage that you've, because it isn't a physical thing like your arm breaking, like you were saying at the start, you're just like, just got on with it and people aren't maybe asking you or maybe they don't want you. They're a bit like that kind of fucking awkward way. But I think if you don't deal with baggage and stuff like that,
yeah,
then perimenopause comes and it's like
it
that
does.
bombs. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. So that's it. So
So,
I actually went back for therapy back just last year. Everything in my life was going so good, and I was
mm-hmm.
thinking, fuck, things are too good. What's happening here? This is a
Aye.
bit weird. So I actually put myself into therapy because I was just like thinking, but
Scared?
there was still stuff from probably from childhood, and it
Really?
all came up in this when I started chatting to this guy, and obviously just maybe because my life was so good, and I was thinking, why is it so? Like I don't know, it's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever was going on anyway, but I knew. So it's like if you're feeling like something's going to affect you a year down, you don't know that it's going to happen, right? We can't tell you what's going to happen in the future. So just why not just go and speak to someone now
Yeah,
about how you're feeling and nip it in the bud and don't
I
let it
think
take
that too.
you down.
Just
Yeah,
just in the fucking 5% chance that it does,
yeah, that's
then
it. So
fucking
just go and deal with it now, and then you don't need to worry about it in a year.
mm-hmm,
Like if
mm-hmm.
you're worried for a whole year about it, and it might never happen.
Exactly, and it's that whole guilt thing as well. Like in it, like you feeling guilty because like I get a lot of mums and my missus and all that. They get like the mum guilt when they're having a nice time when they've not around the wains and all that, and you're like, what? Do you know what I mean? Fucking
I
delighted they're not
know,
here. You know
I
what I'm
know
saying though?
exactly.
So
You need the time.
you need the
No,
time.
your your lady pass her on my number or pass her tell her to
I
contact
will
us.
do. There's
And
a few people.
you'll just tell her to go. Like what happens is I'll have the initial call and I'll kind of judge from that what I feel people need.
Mm-hmm.
If I feel that they just need to talk to someone, I'll then make the connection and then I just leave them. And it's all paid for with their fundraising, so people again don't need to worry about
Oh
there being a
really?
attached to
That's
it. Yeah.
really good. That's amazing. Actually, I didn't know if you would have to pay a cost, like
No,
something.
there's no. We are trying to run it just based on the money that we fundraise with because not everybody's got spare money to pay for
No,
these
I
things.
know, and it's
Because you can afford it, you can have it, but your mental health is equally as important to the next person. So yeah, tell them to just reach out and
I
I'll
will. I
sort.
think she would like your retreats and stuff like that. She's into all kind of self care and all that. So I think that a
Yeah,
day like that with
that's good.
other women and everything, connection, because
Yeah.
that's what it is. That's the power of conversation, man, isn't it?
And that's why we do the connection because it's like there's like groups of women that have done different wee things like connection sessions and they're all still friends. And
Mm-hmm.
that was the visual, that was the visualization like of why we were doing it. So that
Good.
people then had the connection and so
So what's
yeah.
your self care like now? What do you do? What's a Laura self
Set
care
up my
thing?
business now. I still really do like look after myself, like do I go to the gym and stuff like that
Do you
quite a
go to the
lot.
gym? That's
Yeah,
good.
go away for weekends, you know, like I work really, really hard and like I love my job. Like I do love every bit of it and I love every single aspect of everything I do. But I know that I need to take time off because otherwise you just get absolutely shattered and scunnered.
Shattered, man, and you're not giving the best of you. See when you do
Oh,
that,
exactly.
because you are keeping the Glasgow and further out areas basically face and body together. Like that is your, you're
I'm
the.
seeing everybody pretty.
I
What do you
mean,
say? You like
it's a
haggis face?
fucking hard job in fucking Glasgow and the surrounding areas, man. So well done, the fucking wizard.
The job
Um,
is so good. I love the job. I've done it for 14 years. I just absolutely love it. I just love people. Like I love doing nice things for people, and I know
uh
I
huh.
get paid for it, right? But like I do enjoy every seeing people that you've not seen for ages and then giving you cuddles, and it's so nice. And I think because I've got that customer service, the
Aye.
charity is just a natural
You
extension
are
of
a
what I'm
people
really
person,
doing.
do you know what I mean? So like that's a gift that you can give now, do you know what I mean? Because you are a people person.
Yeah, it's
But
good.
it is draining,
Love
innit?
it
I
all.
think I think I'm antisocial now because I'm like dealing with clients. I'm
Listen, don't
like,
get me wrong. See, the older I get, like now when I go on holiday, like I want to just go on holiday where there's nobody else about me. Like,
same.
do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm the exact fucking
I
same. I
don't want
couldn't
to go
get
to nowhere busy, somewhere where there's just literally like a wee bit of beach and we can just go to the beach or something.
mate, seriously, that's the fucking dream. Now I
I
need
know.
to go to holidays because of the kids what if that have got like Michael Jackson at night or something like
Well,
that.
we just went to Tenerife there, and I was like trying to sneak away
It's
because
my
James got
worst
his
fucking
I
nightmare.
was sneaking away to bed, like, oh, no
Mate, I
well.
swear to fucking God, it's my worst. Seeing the same person at the buffet, like, hiya, fucking, then you've made a pal for Falkirk in your holiday, like, I'm not happy. I don't want to go
Meeting
on
up with
holiday
him,
and make
meeting
friends,
up
you
with him
fuck.
next year.
Well, but same, no. I'm like, get yourself. I just can't go at all, man. Like, at all.
No,
It's fucking
no,
terrible. But
that
I
is
didn't
hard.
know if it's the job because, see, because we're so one on one all the time, I'm like, is it our job that's made us fucking antisocial? I can't
I
tell, man.
know, I know, but yeah, it's just, I think it's just as you get older, to be honest, because when I was younger,
Fuck,
all I
man.
wanted to do was go to big music
Oh,
festivals and hug
yes.
everyone at the
The
music
Archies.
festival. travel all
fucking
over the world. Honestly, travel all the
street
world.
rave. Aye.
Sit in a big field with thousands of people sweating, but
Remember
now I'm
that?
that. Oh, the thought of
Remember?
that makes me go
I know,
confused.
I saw wee birds, they were going out like for a night out and it was like 10:30 and I was like, oh my fucking God. Do you ever look in people's Instagram and they're out and you're like, oh, I'm so glad I'm in my house. Do you know what I
I
mean?
know,
I couldn't get washed now, man. It's
I
so
know.
funny how that
We'll
changes,
do
isn't it?
pajamas. Pajamas, that's it. What do you want for Christmas? Pajamas.
Pajamas, fluffy socks or something
I
that I can
know.
wear in my fucking house. Do you know what I mean? I know, man. Tragic, isn't it?
It's definitely age. I don't think it's just age. We're just content.
We're fucking content
Content.
now.
I think it's contentness, but when you get
Do you
older, I
think
don't think
so?
like, I think when you're younger, you're trying to you want everybody to be your pal, and you want to make sure you go out to find out
Yes.
what's happening. You're scared you're missing out on something. Then
Sitting
you
with
get to the
FOMO.
5 and you're like, oh fuck
I
everybody.
don't
I
give
don't
one
care.
fuck.
Get me my pajamas. I'm staying in.
Don't give one fuck now. I'm the exact same, man. I'm like, imagine that now. But obviously, when we were out in the scene and all that, there was no Instagram. Do you know what I mean? There was none of that pish. Imagine now sitting fucking missing out on all the parties. Like, oh, nah. I'm like, see you later. Fuck off. Do you
I'm
know what I
glad
mean?
that era was not captured on phones.
So am I. I wouldn't be able to do the job I do now if I was captured
Same,
on
same.
fucking phones. Do you know what I mean? Like, was that you at Tea in the Park? Like, nah, not me.
No,
Don't know who that
I
is.
know. It
Know
was
what I
good.
mean?
They were good days, though, weren't they? They were the best days. But
Fucking
I'm
best
now
days, mate.
happy to just watch it on TV.
Mate, I would recover better from a fucking general anaesthetic than a night out. Do you know what I mean?
Oh God, I
Genuinely, I wouldn't be okay. I'd be fucking hospitalised. So,
know.
just before we finish, where are we going then with the charity? What's your big kind of vision for
Oh,
2024? What are we thinking?
my vision's always to have a phone line at the end of it, right? That was a bit naive to think I
Brilliant.
could set up a phone line. I'm just like, we'll
You're
just
the
set up
phone
an
line.
office. We'll get like, yeah, I'm just like, it'll be fine. It'll be live next year, right? It doesn't quite happen like that. Obviously, since I found out. But anyway, that's the long term goal. So if people ask you what's your 3 and 5 year plan, I've never planned anything in my life. But obviously, with the charity, it's not mine. It needs to be planned. So hopefully this year we're going to get some premises and we'll be able to run regular workshops. Probably if there's one every day, great. Every couple of days, whatever. That's
Nice, good.
and we'll work on depending on the size of the space and how many people we can get in through the door. But yeah, definitely long term plan is to like. I mean, then if you've got an office, though, it would be easy enough to set up a phone line from your own kind of
I would think
premises,
so.
training volunteers and stuff like that. So for me, that's the long term plan. But this year is to get ourselves a space that we can
Just making it more accessible for people.
make it more
What about
accessible.
online?
A space, and then just like a space that's in the same space every time that people are, and also just like I guess just gaining a bit of trust with people. You know, 'cause it's like people are vulnerable and they are worried to speak out about themselves or at that first point to ask for help. It's not easy.
No, it's
Um,
not easy, man.
it's really not. But all I would say is, if anybody does, it's me that you speak to. Like, you don't go into an automated system like and nobody phones you back. If you message me, I'll probably phone you like right away. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's you're not waiting for anything. It's quite a quick process with us.
That's
So.
good, man. That's so good. Right, so thanks so much, mate. I'm going to let you go now because you're a busy lady, man.
No, we're going to take Leah to see Taylor Swift tribute act.
Oh, fuck off.
I know in town. We're going for dinner first, so that's good. We're going to meet Joy, so I'm buzzing for that.
Who is it? Because the wee girls in here love Taylor Swift, so now I'm like, that it sounds horrific, but now I'm going to need to buy tickets. Who is it? How do I get tickets for it?
Some tribute act that's on in the pavilion. Shane
Right.
got them.
Try and find out if it's on another night or something, will you? And let me know.
Right, thank you so much, honey.
Thanks
Nice
so
to
much,
speak
mate.
to you.
I'll get all the links and all that, right, set up for you so people can get in touch with you and we just spread the word, mate. Let me know if you need any help from just a health PT point of view, if you need me on any talks or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Return the favour.
Okay, honey, thank you so much, okay?
Thank you so much, mate. Take it easy.